Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Kaylania, the bus driver here, and well, first of all, hello, how you guys doing? And today I want to talk a little bit about GrubHub. Now, I know that you guys had seen my previous vlog a while back, a couple months ago that I did because I initially got on board with GrubHub in May of this year, and I thought it was okay, but I felt like it wasn't for me because I guess because like I didn't get an order when I thought I would, and I really didn't give it a chance, and so um, I actually kind of like it. And what led me to actually start doing GrubHub more often, which is what I'm doing, is there are several factors. Okay, one of the factors is that I had when I was doing an Instacart order a couple months ago, I was in the grocery store, and I just walked in, and this one guy said to me, "Hey, aren't you some?" He asked me something about Instacart. He goes, "Aren't you the one that does the videos?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh man, I love your stuff. I like your channel and stuff." And we just got to talking, and he was like, I think he mentioned GrubHub or something. And so I was like, yeah, I had just signed up with them, but I don't think I like it too much. I just don't, because I didn't get anything and this and that or whatever. And he goes, well, you should kind of reconsider it, because that's something that I also do part-time alongside of Instacart and another one. And he was just like, I do pretty good. And so I asked him, I said, well, do you make good money on GrubHub? Because yeah, I do. And he's like, just think about it. So we talked a little bit, and he encouraged me and stuff, and I walked off, and I didn't think nothing of it. And so, and over the months since then, I really didn't want to do GrubHub because I just kind of felt like it wasn't for me, because I had it, because it's like, it's easy like when you start doing it, but like I think when you first start, you're like, okay, what do I do? Like what is this? Like, why is it so hard to, and so then it wasn't until recently, like over the past month or 2 months or so, there's another Instacart shopper out in Atlanta, and her and I have been talking. Thank you, Bouncy. And so she's like, yeah, I've been with GrubHub for a while now, or like around the same time I think when I started. And she was like, I make good money. She sent me screenshots, and of course Atlanta is a lot different. It's a lot different of an area than Orlando, Florida is, because of course there's more of a chance of them making more money out there. But anyway, she was like, yeah, it's great. She's like, you know what? I stopped relying on Instacart because I know how hard it is to get hours now, and also with them not sending batches sometimes and things like that. So basically, she does GrubHub. And so I finally started to give it a shot, because I knew that because of what's going on with Instacart now and how they're hiring so many people, it's hard to work, things of that nature. I had prayed about it, and then now the door started to open, so I started to take blocks with GrubHub, and I started to work that this past week, and the money's really good. And so I didn't think, because I mean even though I do Uber Eats, like I realized that I had been more busier with GrubHub than I have with Uber Eats. And even was talking with other drivers, Uber Eats drivers locally and stuff, and in the groups, a lot of people, always say how slow it is. And I've even said that, like, complaining about how slow it is, and they're not getting any orders and stuff like that. But the market is oversaturated, of course, and everybody, like, customers are always order from the same platform. Some people prefer GrubHub, some people prefer Postmates, some prefer Uber Eats, some prefer DoorDash. Like, it's about preference, And I started to drive, I want to say it was on Wednesday, and I think it was Tuesday I started. And because it was actually my first time actually really being out there on the road, I kind of messed up a couple times, and so I kind of almost gave up on it. And it was kind of confusing to me. But then it wasn't until Wednesday, that's when I was out there on the road, and I made really good money. I made over $100 something that day. I did work a lot of hours, but I'm still getting used to it. I still have to figure out, okay, what restaurants do people order most from, things like that, And so, but it worked out for me, and I liked it. And so yesterday I worked a little bit. Now I was going to work a little bit later, but my body was just telling me I was tired. I mean, I just had to take a break. And so that's kind of how that went. Okay. So for the past couple days, I've been doing GrubHub, and I made almost, about $200, because I also had cash tips, like over $200 plus. And I'm going to also work today. I am on with Instacart, but of course, with them doing what they do, it's allegedly slow, but we already know it's not slow. So, but I just wanted to say that I'm very surprised that Grubhub keeps me busy. Now, there are some pros and cons to Grubhub that I think, at least for me, and I'm sure, and I've seen other drivers say this, that they take you far. Like, that's the only thing I don't like. Like, for instance, like, you could be in one area and then they'll send you, now you have the option to reject the order, but they'll send you so far out to go and pick up an order and drop it off. You're like, I have to drive 45 minutes just to go pick up an order that's like for $6 or $7 or whatever. And so, like, you have to decide if that's what you want to do. Now, if you have chosen a block, like with Grubhub, if you pick blocks, like, basically you're able to schedule yourself blocks. Now, with blocks, the benefit to blocks is that when you schedule yourself a block, because usually the schedules go out like a week in advance, then you also have the option of getting hourly or the minimum guarantee, depending on how much your minimum is versus how much the order is. Whatever is higher, that's what they give you, okay? And they match that, but you also have to have a certain percentage in order to keep that minimum alongside of what you earn, because if you end up rejecting or missing an order, it lowers your acceptance rate and you might not get the hourly, okay? But I know, like, I've talked to many drivers, and they have, like, gotten on and off the platform, but even without scheduled blocks, and they're busy. Like, some people in certain states are just busier than others. Some cities are busier than others. Okay, and so I kind of like it, and so I thought I was gonna hate it. I was like saying, like, this wasn't for me. And so when desperate times calls for desperate measures, right? And so when I got on there, I was very surprised at how busy I was with Grubhub, and how busy I was over Uber Eats. Okay, I know that there are certain times of the day where people get on and drive, and like it's just like lunchtime, dinner time, and especially like the nights and weekends are usually busy. But some people, like with me, like Wednesday, I was on that thing all day. I was busy all day, literally. Yesterday I was pretty busy. It slowed down doing some parts, but for some reason I was just busy, and so I'm very surprised that I was more busy with Grubhub than I was with Uber Eats. Now, I'm not saying I prefer them over Uber Eats, but it just seems like they pay more. Like, for some reason, Uber Eats doesn't give tips than Grubhub does. And I think that's a good thing, because with Grubhub, I think it's not mandatory, because not everybody gets a tip. The majority of the time they do, and they kind of suggest that you do that for the driver. And so, but basically, just to go on to say that I do like it. I mean, at least for now. But the money's pretty good. The money's very, very good. And so I like I said, I make more money like I would have on Uber Eats platform. And so I have not done Postmates in a while, like almost a year. It's been a long time, but I'll do that on another vlog. And so but just to recap, you guys, so yeah, I've been doing Grubhubbing for a couple of days, and I got bills to pay and stuff, so it worked out for me. And but the only downside is that they send you so far, and like I said, you have the option to reject it, but they send you so far just to do an order, and that's what I don't like. And so right now I'm not really sure if they give you a preference over schedule blocks versus you getting on, because they just send me text messages all the time, and I used to hate it, but now I'm seeing how lucrative it could be. I'm not saying you're going to be rich or whatever, but you certainly could be able to pay your bills and take care of what you need to take care of, especially depending on where you are, because some areas are busier than others, like I said, y'all. But anyway, I'm kind of liking it. I'm kind of digging it, and so it works for me for now, and we'll see how it goes in the future. And so I'll just keep doing Grubhub. And so like, even if I'm not able to pick a block, like, people can still get on there. I mean, you can still just hop on the app, and they'll still give you something. So even if you don't have a scheduled blocks is more so for getting an hourly guarantee, and your minimum and stuff like that. It's basically like being on schedule. And so I know a lot of people just hop on and hop off, and they make their money and go home, and that's it. And so otherwise, guys, I'm liking it. It's all right. And so we'll see how it goes in the future, and if there are any complaints about it, but it works. I mean, there's some stuff about it I don't too much care for, I don't like, but I'm just dealing with it, and I'm grateful that I have another platform, which I'm on many, that works out for me. And so whatever doesn't work for Instacart, I could do for Grubhub or Uber Eats or Postmates or whoever. So I'm grateful. So hopefully this helps, and I thank y'all for watching. Bye.